Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 3 between Stake Gaming and Team Alternate Attacks and Hitbox Elite Cup. And well, it's getting serious now, Ted. Isn't
Yeah,
it? I mean, yeah.
I I have not much to say about this one. Stake are facing elimination. I think I put my prediction in the chat not too long ago. I thought it was going to be Stake taking it, edging it out 2-1 of alternate. But dear God, if alternate haven't proven me wrong, they played really well in that last game. They were able to exploit some mistakes from Stake that even I had a hard time seeing in the moment, but in hindsight was like, oh yeah, definitely. I'd Stake. I mean, they've got a lot of solid players. You could tell. Synderen, he had. I won't say he had his lane locked down, but he had a couple of really good plays here and there. Era was a major farmer in that last game. Had all the gold in the world. I could name them all for days, but the point stands, they've got the individual skill they need to win these games. They just need to work a little bit closer together and find their stride. Alternate seems like they have their stride and they are hitting it with the force of 1,000 CIS teams. They are doing incredibly
Yep.
well. And I don't know, I'm thinking after the last game, it looks like it could potentially be a quick 2-0.
Yeah. I think Melk tweeted at some point when Stake was announced that anyone who expects Stake to automatically do super well, like
Yeah.
major invite
Yep.
level well, just severely underestimates the quality of European Dota. And well, this tournament so far is showing us that Stake Gaming. We all know, yeah, they are good players. I mean, even Sunwin, he's like 7K. And he also has the knowledge to back it up, right? He's one of the best analytical casters out there,
Yep. The
arguably
best.
the best, arguably. Yeah, it doesn't just have the knowledge to back it up from just his deep understanding of the game, but he also has the one of the best voices that goes with any co-cast, which is something I always admired him for. Um, but yeah, it's not like they lack the skill; they just lack. They have all the puzzle pieces; they just need to put the puzzle together. So this is their last chance to do that in this particular tournament. If they lose this, they're out, and alternate will be surviving at least for one more round. But let's take a look at the draft alternate. Starting off strong once again with a Vengeful Spirit, together with the starter this time around, so plenty of minus armor. Stake Gaming, they respond with the Tusk, so plenty of brawling potential, and the Dazzle to back that up with the plus armor to counteract the Slaughter and the Vengeful Spirit. So, draft wise, what do you think so far?
Well, I'm thinking the Tusk Dazzling Slardar goes back a little bit to well, back a little bit, meaning more like a couple of weeks. But the Venge, one of the newer heroes, the new kids on the block, will certainly be a very potent hero to have. I think it was run pretty well in that last game, and I'm looking for it to do something similar again this game. Even though her damage really doesn't show a lot in the team fights. Her effectiveness comes from a huge nuke from the magic missile, as well as her full set of skills. The minus armor is great. The nether swap is fantastic, and giving that extra percentage based damage to all of your allies is beyond broken. So Venge is definitely a hero that you really want to strive to pick up, and that combined now with a Slardar is going to be a lot of damage, a lot of physical damage coming out with a whole lot of minus armor too. So Team Alternate, they've got a very potent dual combo here with the Vengeful and the Slardar. The only issue that they're going to face is neither one of them really can carry on their own. And you can argue that, yeah, they've got each other, so that might help out a little bit. But you're looking for a little bit more team fight control. I could see something like a Magnus or a Tidehunter getting picked up just to allow them to freely move about the fight. But until that happens, the Tusk and Dazzler are going to be a combination that's tough to deal with, being that they can snowball to save allies, they can shallow grave to save allies, and if you draft up a really, really strong hard hitter combine with that, then State Gaming can just out DPS Team Alternate, believe it or not, even going against Avenged Slar.
Yeah. And you have to get the minus armor off in the first place, and you have to be the one initiating. You can't be on the back foot as a Slaughter. I mean, sure, you might be able to get out, but Vengeful Spirit, most of the time, not so lucky unless you already have a Sanjin Yasha or something along those lines to tank you up a little bit more. Or a Helm of the Dominator, it's kind of more standard build on Venge carry these days, just to have that extra armor to play with yourself. But yeah, It's exactly as you said. Stay gaming. They have the tools to deal with it. And up against a Shadow Shaman, though, I mean, I was thinking more along the lines of Disruptor for Team Alternate, which is also something that they may want to pick up. Yeah, would be great against the Phantom Lancer too. Would be great against the Puck, just making sure that he can't get out again. Tusk as well. He snowballs in, just drop the Static Storm. But the Shadow Shaman wards, they can use those defensively in a similar kind of way as well. Right? Just make sure, all right, snowball coming in, better drop the wards, and then all of a sudden, Stay Gaming will be regretting the decisions, right? So
Yep.
there's a lot of a big pushing component on top of that from the Shadow Shaman, and if he gets an axe, well, a little bit of AoE splash from the swords as well to deal with the Phantom Lance illusions.
The only issue that Shadow Shaman has is that he's kind of squishy, very squishy actually, and his two lockdowns require him to get very close to the enemies. So if he tries to go in and lock Puck or Tusk down, PL is just going to come in and blow him up in less than a second, and then you're missing one key component of your team. Yeah, sure, they've got the wards to go down, which are very powerful, but PL and Puck can actually clear those out fairly quickly, and then once those are down, what do you do? So
Yeah,
it kind of begs the question. Well, that's kind of what a team fight is you got to coordinate around that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how alternate do so. They're going to go ahead and grab their Jakiro again, by the way, which was a fantastic pick, and they also had the Aether Lens on top of that, which
oh wow, yeah.
is really cool, really good to have. In fact, Aether Lens could actually be really good for Shadow Shaman too. It kind of fixes the issue that I just brought up.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe we see that get picked up. But in the meantime, alternate, they do have a lot of damage coming out. Shadow Shaman and Jakiro are a really good support combo. And if you can smoke up, you can probably find a kill elsewhere on the map, even against a hero like a Puck and a PL. So alternate do have a very good combination. And Stake, I'm looking for their last pickup here. It's probably going to be another. I don't even know. Maybe they can go for a mid laner and run the Tusk and Dazzle as supports and Syndra and to have him go solo as a Puck again. Probably solo safe this time as Dazzle, Tusk, and PL are really good aggressive. In fact, that's what am I talking about? That's the aggressive off lane. That's going to be a aggro try. So they're going to pick up another what seems to be a mid laner, whether it be something like a TA or Wind Ranger or maybe even go a little bit more left field is to be determined.
Yeah, it's definitely an option for Stack Gaming. At the same time, uh, Team Alternate, if we really think about it, we just always have to remember that Vengeful Spirit, even though it's being run as a core more and more often these days, it's also still being run as a support, which is making the first big Venge just so good, right? Because you can't necessarily put all your eggs in one basket and just assume, all right, that's gonna be the carry. So alternates, if they want to run like the start on one position, Vengeful Spirit and Shadow Shaman, make that a tri lane, which is also quite deadly here, at least against solo offlaners. Might have a harder time up against the Tusk Dazzle, just keeping each other alive, and the Phantom Lancer just with the Lancer spam. But yeah, something to look out for as well. I mean, might still be the Jakiro offlane. Who's to say that he's a support either? I mean, he wasn't in the last game, so that's what I
Yep.
like about Alternate Draft. It's just so open in terms of what they want to do. I mean, hell, it could be Shadow Shaman mid for all we know. Okay? Maybe not the
Could be.
maybe not the
I
supreme
wouldn't
hero,
put it.
but
I wouldn't say to do it, but
yeah.
they could do it. I don't know. I'm thinking they might go an aggressive lane as well with Ven, Shadow Shaman, Jakiro, and have the Slardar play a solo safe. But because Stake is definitely doing an aggro tri lane, maybe they're just better off throwing Slardar in a solo off lane. I think he can deal all right with the Puck. I mean, he's got some decent tankiness to go past him, and if he's able to get the stun off or even bait the phase shift, then get a stun. I mean, Slardar can run down any lane that he wants to run down. Probably have to pick up something like a Stout Shield or a Ring of Protection to help him out against the range spam. But it looks like Wind Ranger will be the final pickup for State Gaming. Reading that they do need that mid that will offer a little bit of follow-up DPS, help the PL carry through the mid game. Because we've seen what happens when a PL joins fights a little bit too early, right?
Yeah, we did. And first series of the day, before the Fusel Blade was really going, I mean, sure you had the burst damage from the lance always, but the illusions just don't do anything at that point because, well, you're low level, you don't have the stats to back them up really in terms of damage, so you're really relying on the Diffusal Blade damage to actually carry you through if you want to join these kind of team fights. And, well, he didn't have that, and in the end, Fantastic Five was on them, I believe. They just got chased down. Couldn't really fight back because they lacked the damage, but
Yep.
well, We'll see how Stake Gaming can play it this time around. That's a Lycan!
Ooh. I
Supreme
don't
Lycan!
like it, but I
What?
do like what it does with the draft. I think they've got the minus armor to help. He
Yeah.
can also play a split push game, which compare Lycan plus Shadow Shaman is a really good split pushing lineup. So I don't know. I don't like the hero right now. I don't think he offers as much as he did a couple of patches ago, but hell, I leave it up to Team Alternate to prove me wrong here as we're going in. It looks like the admin forgot to update what the best of 3 score is, so Alternate have a 1-game advantage, and this is match point elimination point for
Yep.
Stake Gaming.
That's gonna
Or,
mess
well,
with the
for Alternate, but against Stake Gaming.
it's gonna mess with the feelings from some people potentially here. So coming into the game just right now and seeing, all right, there's still the game one somehow. Okay, I guess. But yeah, it is an elimination match. Alternate is up 1-0. The GLHF is called. The last chance for Stake Gaming. Prove their worth here in Hitbox League Cup. If you're just tuning in, my name is Dragon Drop, bringing you this game alongside Chicago Ted. So let's take a look at the lineup starting here. On the rated side, we've got Faye standing in here, playing the Slada, Nisha on the Jakiro, once again in that offlane position. In the middle lane, we've got a Supreme Lycan, which I'm really looking forward to see what he can do with that hero. Kind of seems like it's right up his alley, right? Just run up people, make stuff happen. Just brawl, just kill things. That's how I see Supreme these days. But the captain, Sash, playing the Shadow Shaman, that leaves the off lane, the safe lane one position for Exotic Deer on the Vengeful Spirit.
All right, and taking a look at Stake Gaming, we've got Cinderin playing the puck with.
And away we go.
That's Fogged, right? Yeah, Fogged is going to be on the Tusk, Slicks on the Wind Ranger. I swear it's going to mess me up. Arrow's going to be on the Phantom Lancer, and Seal Kid going to be on that Dazzle. The little purple guy from the Nothel realm, or Dothel. What is it, Nothel or Dothel?
I think Nothel. Nothel with N.
I don't know. I don't think it really matters, but
No, it doesn't, but hey.
turns everything pink, dude. It's, I don't know. It's Dazzle's paradise, I guess.
Oh, why not? Why not? Gotta have some place to call home, and that's a weird imaginary realm that no one cares about, then so be it. So even though in the offlane, as in spots is so
trouble.
experienced, but yeah, it is. There's no
Wait.
point, no skill point on Elisasha, so you can go for the shackles, which are quite a decent disable. Exotic Deer thinking about it. A little bit too far out already. Has the orb available to get out of trouble too.
Yeah. Well, he can't orb. If he orbs, then all Plus is going to do, he's going to... Oh, actually, he went for Aether Shock first. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, you orb, and then all he does is he drops down the shackles, and then you can't jaunt out of those orbs if he times it right. So, yeah, I thought he was baiting it at first, baiting the orb and then going out for that. But the Aether Shock, I guess, is going to be his target here, and... That's going to be just a little bit of harass either way. Not going to result in all that much as they're trying to force him out of experience range, but they can't exactly do it right now. Okay, maybe they can, and they are.
There's a creep stone. Cinderin, don't know that he wants to use it aggressively. He gets a lot of counter harassment up on the Shadow Shaman. Creep smashing away at him too, but yeah, that's going to be the stealth. Not quite level 2 just yet, but he will be soon. Mule on top. This shard's kind of looking in Nisha, but didn't want to go further. I mean, level 1 Spirit Lance is one of these spells that, alright, maybe you want to hold on to it until level 2 to be more effective, despite having Mango or not. So you should have a little bit of mana to spare, but want to keep that for a proper kill attempt. And now, nice little play there from Fog. Built a snowball onto face, nagging that bounty rune. Yeah, that gives him his level 2 as well, and Slaughter being denied that. So yeah, what do you actually think about this offlane duel lane? It's not something I've seen before. I mean, Jakiro solo, yeah, but Slada solo as well. But them together can they actually make something happen here?
Oh yeah, they've got slows and they've got plenty of low cooldown aggressive spells. I think what they want to do is they want to try to choke out Stake and then go in for the tower. I'm really surprised actually that Stake went for this safe lane tri-lane. It's actually a lot better versus a dual lane than it could be, but they're going to go on to Nisha.
He's kind of locked in a little bit of trouble there. The stun will give him a little bit of space, but Reggie, Arrow even double walks it out, and that's going to be the first blood coming their way here. Phantom Lance picking it up, going to be super crucial, and it'll be his boots. If he gets off to a good start, then that might be as much trouble as an early good start on Lycan or any alternate lineup in general can be.
Yeah, no, this is like I was gonna say after that point where I can see the reason why they'd run this safe lane tri lane is because they want to put as much pressure on the Slardar as possible, and they can do that. They can play around with any sort of dual or tri lane or even safe lane with this lineup. They just dive in and they go for the burst damage. So it's looking like they've got plenty to deal with this, and they should be able to get a lot of farm on this PL, but in the meantime, I mean, Supreme is having a fairly decent time here in the mid lane, and the off lane seems to be going all right for Cinderin. So,
Yep.
Right now, I mean, it's kind of a toss up who's really winning this early game lanes, but it's looking like Stake might have the better shot here.
Slardar is looking to zone out Sealkate here, but he does have the shallow grave if he needs it. And Slardar not quite having that big kill potential yet, only being level 2, so you don't have that level 2 crush for the extra damage. Nisha at the same time trying to zone out Draggy, but yeah. Tusk rotating back in, might actually get another kill here. Nisha and FaZe stick around. They do not even have the lane ward here, that's the die side. Yeah, Nisha dropping a load of Spirit Lands, follow up Snowball, and just burst it down with a heal bomb. Nicely done, and yeah, with that kill, and also, if you look at mid, obviously the advantage there going for Slicks, being a ranged hero up against a melee. Overall, I would say Stake is taking the upper end here. Might change though. Slardar looking for a rotation in, but will be spotted out by Tusk. Fogged. He's on top of his own rotations and a little bit AFK by the looks of it.
Yeah, just letting himself get punched
maybe
a little
not.
bit.
There's a
Maybe
nice
waiting
little ice
too
shot
long.
here. Shackles to the tree. Power shot to claim yet another kill. Slicks. Well, there's the Shackles. Can they follow up? Supreme trying to get there, but doesn't have his ultimate quite yet to get the rundown. So they get away with
Doesn't
it.
have enough mana for his snowball either. I think he was walking in to maybe save Slicks, but didn't even need to. Now he's got a Mango and a Clarity to help him if the problem ever arises again. But it looks like Slicks should be just fine, just taking a little bit of wolf harass. But in the meantime, he's still farming really well, top of the CS, top of the net worth. And second is Era, Reggae, or the Phantom Lancer, doing fairly well up here on the
Now
top
Supreme
lane. So,
with the ultimate. Slicks actually already
boy.
dropped quite low. Still has Shackle available. If he can get it off, he can. But hey, there's also nice little Ether Sharks. A little bit greedy there, not going back to heal, just relying on his wind run. But I think that was used a little bit earlier. So
they'll go in for plus plus though. Fogged, missing the shards.
oof,
Oh no, that's trouble.
characteristic there, but well. He's in the mid here, not ideal. Now Supreme is at the point where he can just start jungling almost. He has parts of his Vlads coming his way, but there might be another fight. He's still get caught with the Shackles, and he does have the Shadow Grave to keep himself alive. Is there any sort of turnaround though? There is. Oh, but he doesn't actually get it off. There's a Shackle on Tanisha after the ice shots kind of block him off. There's a fair fight to keep himself alive, but won't be for much long as Snowball comes in. They want the kill and they get it, but they might lose Fog to return here. Nice little stun from Faye, but they're starting to lack the damage, but they may get it with the wolves here, trying to track him down, and the ice shots won't actually help him. Another crush to secure the kill. Well, Alternate starting to fight back, forcing Stake to commit much more than they would have wanted to.
Yeah, the big thing there though is Slicks will stay alive through it, and Era will still be farming in the top lane. So
Yeah, that's true.
even though there's a whole lot of action happening down here in the mid, you got to consider who's actually farming and where are they farming at. And even though Exotic Deer is on the bottom lane doing his own little thing and farming that up, Cinderin hasn't really let go of any sort of pressure that he's been putting. So Exotic Deer hasn't had the free lane that Era's had in the top, and I won't say Slicks has had a free lane in the mid, but it's a Wind Ranger. Typically,
Yeah.
even the most problematic lane turns into a free lane whenever you're playing Wind Ranger.
Especially if you're up against Supreme here. At some point, normally you see Lycans out of the one position, just start off in the safe lane, farming up towards that Vladimir's offering, and then rotate into the jungle, give the lane to someone else, to the support to catch up, and once that happens, Winterno might even have some kill potential there, right? With a power shot, maybe a good Shackle, maybe another rotation in from Fogged, and gotta watch out for that. At some point, that Supreme will want to do something else and just keep sitting here and trade farm with the Windrunner.
Yeah, it looks like Supreme's going to be going for that Vladimir's offering. Not taking Reddit's advice, which I'm pretty sure was, there was a post like Mask of Madness. I've tried it once, by the way. It's fantastic. But it doesn't matter right now. Vladimir's will help him be able to farm the jungle a little bit faster, keep his wolves alive, maybe go in for the Roshan, and offer a little bit of push too. So in the end, it's not a bad pickup, and he should be able to just straight up out farm, out fight, and out push anyone on the map, given the space to. But again, you got to look back to who is there to stop it on Stake Gaming, and Era is a fantastic hero to offer some counter pressure. He just TPs to a lane. You can't push that anymore. Too many PL illusions whacking at your face. You'll eventually die by death to 1,000 paper cuts. And that becomes death to 1,000 giant-ass hammer blows later on in the game when he gets more damage. But the point stands that it's really hard to push into a PL. And if he's able to get a lot of farm, which he is, then I can see the trouble only being exponentially more of an issue.
Yeah, I do definitely agree. I mean, because if you look at also this lineup, there's not actually a whole lot of AoE. It's only the Jakiro really can maybe count the Slada stun, but well, if that Phantom Lantern gets a diffuse blade, he's not gonna get many of those off. At least that's what the chances are. But yeah, even with the Lycan, I mean, you do get a lot of synergy with the Vladimir's offering, and the standard build is just go for the for Necrobook afterwards, just because they also benefit from the Feral Impulse, from the Shapeshift as well, as that Vlad is now. Well, Raggy, he's going, actually indeed, does have another Spirit Land, but there's a Shackles coming out exactly with the follow-ups and just bring it down. That was questionable to say the least. Diving in that deep.
Well, it started at the dive. He really should not have gone past the tower like that. It goes back to what we were saying in the draft or throughout the game. Like, he can't be that aggressive that early. Mostly you just wait till you can find a solo pick that's maybe out of position and Spirit Lance him down. But he went the extra mile. He went past the tower and hoped that he would have enough time to get that last Spirit Lance off and then kind of dive away. In fact, that's why he didn't seem to doppelganger out, was because it looked like he wanted that last Spirit Lance. And unfortunately, you go up against a hero with one of the longest stun durations as a combination of all his spells in the game, and you get punished for it if you dive him. I mean, big surprise, right? But yeah, he'll go down, and then Exotic Deer to come in for that kill was just spot on. Great rotations from Alternate, and Stake, I don't know, maybe getting a little cocky, maybe just not respecting Alternate's rotations, Alternate's skill, but for right now, they had a bit of an advantage starting out this game. Now they'll lose a lot of it.
Yep. They also have to keep an eye on this Lycan, who is now farming a little bit better. Well, not barely worth mentioning here at this point, but he's up there together with the Venge, the PL, as well as the Windrunner, so he's getting his farm. And if nothing else, he can push really, really hard. So you gotta watch out for that. And it's also very hard to kite when he has the phase shift, when he has the, what's it called, the wolf form, the shapeshift going. So gotta have to find a way to actually control him with the shackle, because Stake don't really have much else that really lasts long enough to try and take out some of that shapeshift duration.
Slex putting down a tree, not quite sure. Maybe he wants to shackle someone to it, I don't know. Preemptively setting up. It doesn't last all that long of a period of time, so it's not like if it just sits there.
Oh, there's a swap back, hacks as well. Do they have the follow-up? Yeah, long-range shackles to keep him there. Tusk not really able to help him. The Slicks has to help himself. Gets a shackle as well as a power shot, but Supreme brings down the Tusk as well as the Windrunner with that shapeshift. They will also bring down Tower, committing the wards as well. At the same time, Nisha ended up dying up in the top lane, but obviously Stake not quite in position to push as hard just yet as this Lycan can. But hey, at least Supreme out of shapeshift, so they can't push any further. So maybe they're gonna try and rotate it around. Era this time though, he will start retreat a little bit earlier. The Lycan roaming around though, he does have an Invis rune, but no ultimate for quite a while. He's probably just gonna farm.
Yeah, farming is the best idea here. I mean, you are out farming Era right now if you're Supreme, so just go back, continue farming, and you'll stay ahead of him. I mean, Era...
Nicely done here, dodges the stun, and Reggie should actually get the kill with the call here. Sinrun just picked up his Blink Dagger, kind of picking a kill up on the back of that, helping him get a little bit closer to get that call off with an extra bit of damage.
Yep, Cinder, and actually that Blink Dagger is fantastically timed too. 12 minutes, 12 to 13 is when you typically want to get it as an offlaner. So him having that is right on point, right where he needs to be, and that'll allow him to set up so many aggressive maneuvers, especially when it seems Alternate are grouping up to push. You get a 3 or 4 man Dream Coil, and all of a sudden you might just be able to win that fight because you hold everyone in position for Era to just kind of run him down with the mass amount of illusions he can generate. Supreme, meanwhile, and Vizrune looking for Seal Kid, but is not going to find him. Got him, though. It looks like Faye could be in a lot of trouble here. We'll see if he's actually able to get the kill.
Nice
yes,
silence.
Here comes Cinder in. And
Beautiful.
Out goes
Beautiful.
Faye.
Snotty, you know he was gonna crush at that exact moment. Yep. You just know it was gonna happen, but no. Cinder says, well, blink silence. Goodbye, nicely done. So this time not being punished for sticking around a little bit too long, as mid lane was maybe the target with that Invis rune for Lycan, but alternate kind of at the wrong place at the wrong time for that one. But hey, that's more goal towards the Phantom Lance, and he's going for a little bit of a different build than usual. You have the Treads, you have the Yasha, kind of a mixed build, but you don't have that early fighting potential. This is more of a farming build, and farming and staying alive kind of build. So, do you think they can actually afford that, or does he need to start fighting sooner? I mean, where else is damage going to come from? I guess from Slicks! With the Shackle Shot and the Focus Fire. They do claim the Shadow Shaman in mid.
That's a pretty good kill for them to get. But still, Alternate have a fantastic amount of push. They just dropped the tier 1 tower fast, and now a glyph being forced in the bottom tier 2. This is probably just going to go down. It doesn't look like their rotations are quite fast enough, and this is the pure power that this lineup has. You push down without much worry. Now there's a glyph down, a tier 2 drop, no glyph for the other two tier 2s if they want to push those down. And even though Stake are doing a little bit of their own push, they can't get the tier 2 of their own. And in comes Plus. They might be able to find both of them here as Era getting crushed in the side, but he will TP out. It looks like Fogged, though, is as good as dead. He's going to snowball himself a little bit further into the fight. Faye comes in with a crush and will get the nice quick kill on the Tusk. So they go for a push. They're not able to complete it, and they lose one because of it. Stake, I mean, they just cannot out-push Alternate's lineup. I think they have to prioritize more fighting, but even then, we've seen them lose a couple of fights to Alternate. They must be feeling a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, it's very easy to underestimate the amount of damage that they can actually do if they're all together, because they don't only have the Vlads, they also have the Vengeful Spirit plus damage aura, and they, for a moment at least, before they got sniped with the power shot, they had the Alpha Wolf too. So at a point, Lycan was actually hitting for more than 200 damage, even without his ultimate. So it's really hard to actually fight into that, especially since you you have a decent amount of damage even between the Phantom Lancer, going for the Fusel Blade only now, but... Oh, fight in middle lane, yeah, there's the wards being dropped, Shadow Shaman first one to fall, though no one really in range. Syndrome though comes in, nice Shallow Grave to keep him alive, but that won't save the Tusk, and now Syndrome just TP's out, but it gets swapped at the end of it. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far, making it 2-for-3. Supreme just knocks him down, just runs him down with the shapeshift.
That is crazy amounts of damage. I don't think I quite believed you when you said he was doing over 200 damage, but there you go. He just chunked him down, taking bite after bite out of the giant, juicy steak right in front of him. And I gotta say, like, this, I kind of hated it a bit in the draft, and I feel like I was a little justified in that, but still, I mean, Supreme is proving me wrong. He's doing so much damage and running around this
be super careful here. Reggie stares one nice little shotgun on Supreme, and he does not have a shapeshift, but does have some help from Faye. That's a minus armor. They will just right-click him down with DD2. Yeah, that's when it comes down to Phantom Lance and not having the damage to actually play with. Just look at 2 little right-clicks. The double walk just to keep Reggie alive, barely. Yeah, I have to be super careful going for these kind of plays. I mean, he didn't have shapeshift, but he did have the double damage and kind of making up for it in a way. But yeah, I'm liking. He likes meat as well, so it's kind of fitting to go for that in this kind of game. At least it fits thematically up against Stake Gaming. But now Faye does have this Blink Dagger, threatening it out, just creating a space, claim that tier 2, and what do you know? Top lane's also pushing in already. Yep. So that should be another free tower. Yes, exactly.
And then you go after the Roshan, maybe take a couple of their Ancients, farm out their jungle while the lanes push in, and then once you've got all the pressure substantially had, you just push up to the high ground. And with an Aegis on Supreme, I'm not sure they can even defend that push. It doesn't look like he's going for a Necronomicon. Actually, no, he's got one. Never mind. He is going for a Necronomicon. And once that's up and ready for him,
Well, TP comes
there's
in. Do they
nothing
want
to
to
really
fight? They
stop
do.
it.
Sinrun with a blink in. Coil on 2. There's a Jack on Supreme. That's super important inside of Shapeshift. But they don't have the damage to actually bring him down. Tusk comes in with Snowball, trying to punch up Shadow Shaman. But even that, well, the Phantom Lance Illusion will bring it down. But Sealkid, next one to fall. Reggie, now being the focus, gets a doppelganger out. But it's not going to be enough. Supreme finds the right one. Sinrun and Slick's unable to help them. There's even a swap back. Faye with a stun on Sinrun. He will be brought down. Nisha. They're just dividing their attention well enough, and they can't afford this because Stake is just not in a position to claim these, to take these kind of fights right now. Not up against the lineup that alternate half, and already buyback force out 18 minutes in, very low death timer, so they might be able to do something here. Oh, you have to be super careful though. Faye, Blink Crush, amplify damage, very strong to set up Supreme, who, well, is trying to heal up a little bit of on the back of the creep wave.
This is deja vu, pushing down a lane, having Cinderin buy back to try to defend it, and they still lose a melee Rax. Yeah, no, this is pretty close to what happened in the last game, except a little bit earlier. I believe the same thing happened, but at 22 minutes or something like that. So if they keep this trend going, they'll win in 4.
When that happened in the last game, they lost the game afterwards, or at least they lost Mega Creeps. I believe that was the first major push. That alternate has actually mounted that one of the games straight up.
No, they didn't get Mega Creeps off that first push. They got
Really?
they got pushed back after it, but then came back and got their big run. It was about 4 minutes after that first push. So let's see. At 23 minutes, if they're getting Mega Creeps, then well, they'll be consistent as they ever will be. So. Nisha not quite going for the Aether Lens just yet. It looks like he's taken a detour into Yulesville, which is pretty good. I mean, it's going to help him out a lot with setting up his stuns and being just a solo nuisance across the map, but he's alone right now. The rest of his team is running in to try to rush to his aid. Still, they're not able to find the initiation, so instead, they'll go after that Roshan and then grab an Aegis and well, we talked about the checklist that they needed to follow. Well, here is where it starts. Unfortunately, looks like State Gaming, they want to defend against this. They smoke up and they'll make their way to the pit.
There's a Yules on Tanisha, but it sees a lot of other heroes. And it'll be the walls coming down, actually catches Fog in the midst of that Shackle. I think that's Nisha here. They will finally bring him down, but at what cost? Shapeshift is done on Supreme, which is looking for a target. It'll be Slicks, but, well, shackled up. Nice little shallow grave, but it'll only delay the Nettle Syndrome coming in to try and help, but he doesn't have the damage to support it. It's 3 heroes down for only the Jakiro at this point. Syndrome might not even survive here. Blink, hacks, they see him with the amplified damage, and, well, an army of creeps right next to him. Meanwhile, Faye, well, what can they do? Stake, once again, they find themselves in a situation where they're just... It's not like they have bad item timings. I mean, the Fusel Yasha, 20 minutes on a Phantom Lancer, is not bad. The blink on Syndrome was on 12 minutes, which is super good timing.
Yep.
Considering that he was spending most of his time just leeching experience, but it's just as
he was
momentum
having
from
a fairly
alternate.
decent 1v1 lane, dude. It's honestly, it goes back to
the ice shot blocks in everyone. Exotic DA gets, if they can bring down, it's a good start to it. But Faye, double crush in the back. Exotic DA should still end up surviving unless Era can get another lance out here, but. Well, another ice shots and the lance will be enough to bring that down. Supreme, well, he doesn't actually have a shapeshift to start fighting. The Shackle will not latch, but the Focus Fire will be enough to bring down Shadow Shaman with all the Phantom Lance illusions. Maybe this is the fight that they were looking for. They keep chasing it to find Supreme in the back. He'll have a shapeshift in just a moment's time, though. If he wants a Slicks, well, is there to try and get the extra bit of damage up before that can happen. But hey, that's only the Aegis. Nisha gets shackled off in the back, and Phantom Lance is still alive with illusions, bashing away his mana, but he still gets the Yield Scepter up in the air. They'll still need to commit a little bit more to try and bring him down, and they will end up doing so as Sealkid. It's the first casualty of war, or the second casualty of war. Supreme goes strong here. There's some focus fire on Slicks, but can't actually go, and thanks to the wind run, at least he can just run out as they're out of the Sabers while all of that happened. Top lane was pushing in with the range tracks going down at the same time, so even though alternate got pushed back, they still keep the Lycanthrope alive thanks to the Aegis. They still keep at least Slaughter alive, and they do claim another tier 3 and the range tracks up top just by virtue of the creeps. Ah, Ted, save me.
I don't know, man. You were doing a great job throughout that entire fight. No, I gotta say, like, that was the best fight they could have possibly hoped for, and even then, because they had the Aegis Supreme getting that Aegis Immortality before the fight, they couldn't do anything to him. He held on to his shapeshift until he died that first time because if he knew if he popped it, he probably would have died. And then when you come back to life without a shapeshift, you're in deep water. So he held on to his shapeshift, got brought down the first time, popped the shapeshift, looked like he was going to run away, and then was like, wait, they've got nothing to stop me. I'm just going to run in, find a kill, and then back off. So that's exactly what he did. He goes in, gets himself a quick and easy kill, and then backs right away again. So Stake just have no way of really punishing, even if they get the best fight they could possibly hope for. They're still not able to bring Supreme down. Now that he doesn't have Aegis, it might help a little bit. But in the end, there's a tier 3 missing in the mid lane. There's not a whole lot of defense set up for Stake Gaming. They've got to be very careful about how they operate this defense, because if they let themselves just get run down the high ground and they die, at least a couple of them die, they don't have buyback. The only one with buyback is the Wind Ranger Slicks. So if
Well,
they
Cinder
all
comes
die,
in with the three-man coil and the silence on Tanisha, Exotic Deer, and the Shadow Shaman. Now the Phantom Land Solutions have to do some work, but it's going to be a Puck dying first. The wards are down in the midst of the fight. Shadow Shaman will end up burning his Slicks. That's what he's trying to bring it out, but Reggie, he's still alive. He gets another lance out. And where's Supreme? Well, he's bashing away at Slicks, who keeps himself alive a little bit longer with the Wind Run. Will be able to do so, but now Reggie, he ends up falling here as just a sustain once again. He's just
Everyone
too strong,
without
Supreme with the damage. Yeah, none of them have buyback. Only Slick surviving by the skin of his teeth. Gets himself a Blink Dagger. But it's all over but the crying. GG will play.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Well.
Okay, it was 5 minutes, but they got mega creeps in that time. Alternate are just so damn consistent with their ruthless and aggressive pushing style. They drafted a lineup that, honestly, I didn't quite like in the draft. Would have to have been played near perfectly, and they did it. Not perfectly, but they did it. Supreme was a masterful Lycan player that game, and everyone else just seemed to be on point with their skill usage, their positions in the fight. Meanwhile, Stake, they definitely, again, they have the individual skill. Era's got the farming power. Synderen has the playmaking ability. But, and everyone else, I mean, again, I could list them off, but in the end, they just did not seem to work together at all. And what that results in is they get picked in the fight, maybe one or two of them die, the rest of them will go down one by one or trying to get away on the escape and end up dying. And then alternate, they go for the jugular. They go push down towers, they push down racks, they take the Roshan and then push again. Just again, ruthless and systematic in the way they eliminate their opponents. And a true elimination, as State Gaming have just played their last game in the Hitbox Pro League, is it?
Hitbox League Cup, yeah.
Hitbox League, yeah, whatever. It's Hitbox and whatever the case, guys. That was a fantastic game, and I couldn't have hoped for a better one. But I think that's it for the day.
It is indeed. But if you're not a Supreme fan by now, then I don't know what's wrong with you. That guy, that last pick Lycan, I mean, it's really hard if you don't have proper disables up against him, even if you do have the damage. And they did in the end. I mean, that Phantom Lancer had the Diffusal Blade going, doing a lot of work. Windrunner also getting to a point, but yeah, this wasn't enough. It was too hard to, and yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Ruthless. That's the way you can destroy alternate. They get going early. It's really, really hard to stop them. And yeah, who knows? Maybe that'll carry them through the lower brackets here. But Stake Gaming, well, yeah, high hopes for this team, looking to prove themselves in this tournament and run up to the major qualifiers. But unfortunately, dropping out 2-0 both times. Well, not gonna see any more of them in this tournament. But hey, GG, well played. Such is life, etc., etc. But yeah, that'll be us done for the day. Don't forget the Zeus Arcana giveaway, guys. And all you have to do to enter is just follow the channel, and the winner will be announced after the games tomorrow, which will actually be hosted by Ted.
Woohoo!
So looking forward to that, I suppose.
Eggnog Dodo. Yeah, it's gonna be great, guys. If you do want to join me, I will be the play-by-play. Hopefully, not fucking up the stream tomorrow. Joining me will be Turbo as well. So it's gonna be one hell of a day. Christmas Eve, Dota. If you guys celebrate that, if not, well, then it's just another day for you. But it's gonna be a fantastic cast, and I hope you guys join me.
Definitely go ahead and tune into that. And yeah, the day after that, I won't be there either, still with my family. But you've got Benjamin taken over there. And I understand he's got some cool things planned. So hey, if you can make time, definitely tune in during that. But yeah, all that's left to say is follow us on Twitter at TedCast is my co-caster, and I'm Dragon Drop Dota. I dearly hope that you enjoyed the broadcast so far. And yeah, I would once again like to thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.